Good day, everyone. I am Katricia Faye Pingol, an Educational Leadership and Management Master's student from the Philippine Normal University. Through this short video presentation, I will be giving you an overview of how budget planning in local colleges and universities works in the Philippine context. Local colleges and universities, or LCUs, can simply be characterized as higher education institutions that are located in their respective local government units. These higher learning centers and organizations are created by virtue of a law referred to as Republic Act 7160, also known as the Local Government Code of 1991. With such, many students from low-income families were given access to certificate courses and tertiary degrees, paying only minimal to no tuition cost. As was stated by Dr. Carolina P. Danao of the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, the establishment of LCUs allows LGUs to empower poor people in their own communities. Before the enactment of RA 7160, the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila was the first higher education institution in the Philippines to be fully subsidized by a local government unit. It is by virtue of RA 4196 implemented in 1965, which authorizes the City of Manila to operate its own university. At present, based on the list of member schools in the Association for Local Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation, there are over 40 accredited LUCs all over the Philippines, many of which are located in NCR, including EDLM, University of Makati, and Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Pasig, just to name a few. All of them are also committed to upholding the goals of the Commission on Higher Education. However, the question now is, where do these local colleges and universities get their funding in order to effectively and efficiently fulfill their mission and vision as providers of affordable higher learning? As is stipulated by RA 7160 and by virtue of a municipal or city ordinance, local government units shall establish and provide for their respective LCUs. In essence, an LCU's funding comes directly from their respective LGU. All necessary educational facilities and infrastructure are also built by the province, city, or municipality. Because of this, budget management in LCUs are governed by the same principles followed by their respective local government units, which are also stipulated in Republic Act 7160. The same law also states that financial plans and local budgets must be harmonized with national and local development plans so as to optimize resource allocations, which must also ring true for budgetary decisions in LCUs. In line with this, it is also stipulated that national planning shall be based on local planning to establish demand-driven budget planning processes. This bottom-up approach was introduced to ensure that the needs and aspirations of the people are considered in the formulation of budgets, which are also aligned with the country's Millennium Development Goals of inclusive growth and poverty reduction. On your screen is the local budget process pursuant to Republic Act 7160. All units and departments of a local government are expected to adhere to the same budgetary procedures. For the purpose of this presentation, our discussion will focus on the exploration of the budget preparation or planning, particularly in the context of a local college or university as a unit of an LGU. Budget planning begins with budget proposals coming from smaller units within the LCU. An institutional budget call is held, requesting all units to submit a proposal aligned with the mission and vision of the college or university. Faculty and staff are asked about their needs, plans, and aspirations, which are then collated and summarized into a budget proposal document. These documents are submitted to the Finance Department, which are then put together to formulate an annual investment plan. This contains the indicative needs, resources, and even a wish list for the entire LCU. The AIP must specify major programs that are aligned with the thrust of the local government and must be anchored with major final outputs. Examples of these programs include intended projects and plans for educational excellence, employee and student development, research and extension, as well as general administrative support. These are all supported with project profiles as developed by the LCU's planning department. The next step involves prioritization. After the budget call, a budget hearing is led by the LCU's finance and budget committees. It is where heads are asked to explain and elaborate on their initial budget proposals. These plans are then reviewed so as to make decisions whether to include certain projects or defer them for the next fiscal year. After revision in another round of review by the Finance Committee, these documents are then used to create a project procurement management plan. Institution budget proposals are comprehensively summarized into three important aspects: personal services, maintenance and other operating expenses, and capital outlay. This document utilizes line item budgeting, which specifies particular details about items such as modes of procurement and their respective implementation dates. Many of us have wondered how they come up with the numbers or the amounts indicated in budget plans and proposals, but the answer and explanation are quite simple. These numbers must be governed by existing laws, updated policies, and latest regulations stipulated and enacted in the Philippines. For example, budgeting and accounting for personal services must be aligned with provisions of the CSC, DOLE, and DBM, as well as internal policies within the local government unit and the local college or university. Once the LCU's budget proposal has been finalized, it is then submitted to the City Budget Office and will once again be subjected to review by the local Finance Committee. This includes the City Budget Officer, Treasury and Accounting Department representatives, Chairman of the City's Committee on Education, Urban Development Department Head, as well as the City Mayor. After which, a final budget plan must also be presented and once again defended to the City Council. Once accepted, a resolution is passed approving the proposed budget. As was stated by American politician Jack Liu, a budget is not just a collection of numbers but an expression of our values and aspirations. Budget planning and preparation among LCUs and LGUs are indeed clear reflections of these ideals.